Shiva Samanambam Shankarya Sharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Isvaro Gurate Meti Multibeda Vibhagine Vyomavada Vyapata Dehaya Dakshinamurtiya Namaha Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satguru Pranatosh Maham Om Shanti Ramji Shamkara. So we are still on the verse 91. Just as the actions done in a dream are dissolved on awaking, the accumulated results of past actions are dissolved by self-knowledge. So what are the accumulated results of past actions? So they are karmas, right? And Vinay. You say Vinay? Vinay, I say Vinay.
I say Mahami. You say.
Yeah, Vinay was talking to me that the verse most probably refers to Santisha Karma. So that is Agami Karma, Santisha Karma, and Parabhada Karma. Karma is karma, but somehow there are some other structure that divides it in 4 levels as well. So when we acting out, we are placing a karma. Action literally goes for action. And then when we do this, it leaves a trace, a mark, an impression that it sits in our causal body. And and a lot of the time when we have a complexity of karmas, and then those results, they get together and they sit there as a Santisha Karma, waiting to manifest as one's life circumstance, situations of life. When it manifests, we say, okay, this is karma coming around, manifesting as my life situation. So, karma has different effects. The results of karmas as well, there is a result that is immediate. When we do something immediate, there is a response, a reaction. Every action in the universe produces a reaction. And the same from the standpoint of the jiva, and is its action. So every action is going to have an impact and produce a certain reactions in the field. Many times when we do something inappropriate or stupid, immediately we get the response. What is the immediate response we get? I can go and offend someone, and someone is going to offend me back. Someone is angry with me, so it's immediate. But there are some unseen results of a certain action. Those unseen can be subdivided on a certain level. The easiest way to see is that the unseen results, sometimes they take some time to be fructified, manifest as the response of the field. That is an extreme example of those people that out of the blue have an experience of the self or enlightenment or whatever. They don't know where it came from. It's fructifying from somewhere, only Ishvara knows, but it's fructifying. And those are karma, fructifying or manifesting just before our eyes as our life situation. But here it says that the accumulated results of past actions are dissolved by self-knowledge. What self-knowledge does? It's somehow due to the logic that neutralizes the basic fundamental ignorance. I am the body and I am the owner, originator of my thoughts and actions. So the knowledge, I am the self, neutralizes that piece of ignorance. And therefore the jiva begins acting out in the world, responding to the stimuli of the world without that sense of identification as the doer, the thinker, the feeler, and so on. So the knowledge somehow neutralizes the accumulation of all those karmas, which are results of past interactions with the field. So how does it do so? It does so by to the degree that the jiva is acting out. The jiva, after firm self-knowledge, is acting out without that sense of I am the doer of my action. So karma disappears to the degree that it's no longer creating karma because he has consecrated or dedicated or passed over to Ishvara all the actions which belong to Ishvara in the first place. So there is no sense of being creating karma. Of course, you have to understand what Ishvara is, the laws governing Ishvara's body of existence, so that you conform you cannot have a woman that you love and then you say, oh, I love you so much. Or you have a guru that you love. You go and you say, oh, I love you, Guru, thank you, and next moment you are being disrespectful and offending the Guru and so on. Or you cannot have a beloved that you love and then you're beating her up when you're in a bad mood, you understand? When you love something, you love Ishvara, you have to demonstrate your love by conforming your thoughts and actions to the laws governing the field. The laws are Ishvara. Ishvara is the material, the intelligent, and the intelligence governing everything. So those actions are somehow given up to Ishvara, and they are conformed to Ishvara, they are dedicated and conformed to Ishvara, and one is free from karma. So he's not producing Santisha karma and Parabdha karma, but how about those Santisha karmas, those karmas from before that somehow still have to be processed by the field? The field is nothing that everything affecting everything else, impacting, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, and then something is to manifest a year, 2, 10 years ahead. Is there karma for the one realized? Because we may say, well, he's not putting up karma because he does not identify with his actions anymore. But how about the actions from before? There may be some actions sitting here waiting to fructify, and then there is the action fructifies as one's life circumstance and situations. Is there karma or not karma? Only to the degree that we identify with it. We don't identify with our actions, we don't identify with our vasanas, and we don't identify with our life situations because we understood the game. We understood that this all belongs to the domain of Ishvara. So this knowledge, I am awareness, associated with the full knowledge of Ishvara, the field, frees the jiva even from its life situation, which is called Parabdha karma, when it fructifies, because there is nobody there owning my thoughts, my actions, my vasanas, and neither the fructifications are my vasanas. There is just total disidentification with the whole process. So, generally speaking, that's what the verse says. Just as actions done in a dream are dissolved on awake, all accumulated results of past actions are dissolved by self-knowledge. Okay? Dissolved to the degree that we do not own anything, we do not identify with anything. Very quickly.
So basically, the now, the present, we say, this is happening now. It's actually not really now, it's past.
Yeah, I'm very tricky.
What do you mean?
Like the circumstances what you see now.
Yeah, what is fructifying in your life now? Yeah.
It's basically
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
So the whole teaching
Yeah.
about the power of now, or like focus on the now, is
Yeah.
like useless because it's the past. So why to focus on the past?
Yeah. Well, I don't understand exactly what is your point, but we respond to life from our past always, because we are always responding from our vasanas, and vasanas are impressions from past experience that were retained in a causal body, and we respond from them. We have the intellect trying to discriminate and not to become just a mechanical, robot. So when it gets smart, to a certain degree, it starts exercise some degree of intelligence with maturity. Otherwise, we are answering to every situation from our past. Is that what you're trying to say, or not?
The other way around. That everything which happens now is not now. It's actually karma. It's coming from the past.
Yeah.
So it's like
The same way we are saying karma. The vasanas are going to somehow attract life's situation, the objects, the people, place. It's all coming from here. So we can look at this is coming from here. That's why we say it's from the subtle, from the macrocosmic to the manifest reality. Vasanas are the building blocks of creation from where Ishvara projects the universe. And from the Jiva standpoint, so it's our vasanas are going to condition the environment and the life we're going to have and so on. Okay? But when we cease to identify the self with the body will not then disappear, for it has empirical reality. It's not the product of a dream or a product of a misperception. It will continue to act and to experience the results of actions. But we will not do so, for we will know ourselves to be other than the body. So the body will do its things according to its nature. Okay, my nature now is the nature of a human being governed by wisdom, knowledge, because I got in contact with Ishvara's scriptural knowledge and so on. So it's going to become a dharmic machine of responding appropriately and timely to the events of life. That's the importance of dharma and karma. Understand dharma. If we want to have a good life and in the process develop a sattvic mind. Self-knowledge dissolves the results of past actions in this way. It removes our identification with the doer and enjoyer of action. You notice that they never put, the scripture never say the doer and the enjoyer and sufferer. They never say the sufferer. But the sufferer is there all the time. It's mostly because every action we do, we only do for the sake of enjoying. Nobody does an action and say, okay, I'm tired with having some joys. I'm having joys twice a week. I'm having joy now. You say, no, I want to neutralize that. I'm going to do actions to produce suffering. Now, nobody does any action to produce suffering. Therefore, the scriptures often puts it in that way that what are you? You're enjoyer of actions. Identification with the doer, the knower, and the enjoyer of actions, meaning to say the construct, body-mind. Yes, Julie?
Yeah, well, after enjoying comes the suffering, that's the point.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
Yeah.
The enjoyer is the sufferer.
That's the point. We enjoy, but it comes with the suffering. Why? Because it does not last. It does not last. It's just short-lived.
Yeah, I think this enjoyer is a kind of irony in the Shastra,
Yeah.
The doer and enjoy.
Yeah.
You enjoy misery.
Yeah.
So it's not really meant that it's so glad.
Yeah.
But isn't that because pain and pleasure are just the two sides of the one coin?
Yes.
And desire is explicable in terms of pain and pleasure, and fear and anger are just tensed. Desire is now, attachment is now, it is in the now, it's in the present, but anger is in the past, and fear is in the future because you're afraid of what will. And
okay, we are not going to go there. This could take us on a side road. I keep this contemplation for yourself, and then if we have time tomorrow morning, we can explore that. Okay? To think that awareness of the body must disappear for the self to be realized is to invest the body with a lot of importance, with much more than empirical reality. We take the body so real for me. No? That I consider this to be myself. From the highest truth, there is no body, in the sense that there is only limitless existence and knowledge assembling the elements and the energies to appear as certain names and forms, and they keep changing. From the highest truth, there is only I, and I'm always ever free, consciousness. But it is our inability to maintain this highest level of knowledge, always present, that brings us to Vedanta. Oh God, I heard the knowledge, I understood the knowledge, but somehow Maya keeps tricking me. And when I see I'm thinking and acting from the standpoint of ignorance. But it is from this, maintain this highest level, understand that brings us to Vedanta, our inability to stay put as this hard and fast knowledge, which brings us to Vedanta, which very considerably takes us from where we may be and patiently leads us from one level of understanding to another until we establish as the self is the most compassionate thing. You know, you see some other teachers or teachings or fractions of structured teachings here and there. You don't see something like that. So beautiful, extensive, and gradually compassionate, taking the jiva where he is here, lost in those thoughts, rooted in ignorance, you know, and they say, okay, let's move together, logic by logic.
The sentence also implies that, in the beginning phrase anyway, through the words, but it is our inability to maintain the highest level of understanding that has led us to Vedanta. It implies that Vedanta is for mature seekers who probably have already heard that they are the self, but found it.
Yeah. Yes.
The sentence, you are Brahman.
Yeah. Yeah. That's James is elaborating a little bit more on what I said. So we heard the good news, we are the self, but we are not able to hold that knowledge and have it translated as a life governed by that knowledge. So, which means to say, James is saying that we are mature seekers. We have tried to gain this knowledge by the sake of action, doing something, and then we came to the point of seeing it clearly that I cannot gain that. I can only understand that I am already that. So then the knowledge for experience, action experience is converted into a knowledge. A desire for action experience is converted into a desire for understanding and knowing one's true nature. So this is the highest level of maturity of the one working its way into freedom, moksha. Verse 92, the good or bad deeds done in a dream do not send a waker to heaven or hell. What it means? It means that we have to come back here. You understand? If we want moksha, people ask me again and again, so okay, we are making some progress here. But when I leave the body, I'm going to exist on some of these intermediary levels, realms, mental, emotional realms. So how about I gain enlightenment there? I can go progressing from one dimension to another, and then I get moksha. And the verse says that the good and bad deeds done in a dream world do not send the waker to heaven or hell. An analogy. We need to be here to work our karma. We need to be here to neutralize our wrong notions about our own nature, our own self. We need to be here until we understand that action and experience fundamentally does not solve this puzzle, this weird puzzle. We are already free, and we are not bound to anything. We are not even bound to time, and we come here with all these small ideas that we are bound to time, space, and we are limited, incomplete, and so on. Only here, in this plane of the elements manifest as a field of action, we can work out our karmas and gain knowledge. We cannot do that on a dream state or any other state of these realms, these mental realms. People are fascinated. I have a friend, a student in Brazil that is fascinated with this thing and keep coming back because she keep going back to her books. She had investment on those notions, and she keeps going back and come back to me confused again. So, but it cannot be possible because people are traveling, doing these interdimensional travels, and there are lighter and lighter beings and so on, and enlightened people. And there are a lot of people lost there that needs help. So I want to learn to go there to help them as well, and so on. It's all subjective realities. It's all part of this mental, subtle reality, which is purely subjective. And then, but it's not only subjective, because people go there and they see, they do, and they note, and they come back with some memories of how it was, what they did, who they helped, and how many people were saw. And then I point out to the fact, so they can report to it only to the degree that they go there, but they are firmly hooked up with the physical body. Therefore, they can come back and bring some very subtle memories of those mental projections. The same way we bring memories of those objects in our dream state, which is a projection of our subtle content of our mind. You understand? No, it must be real because people describe it as real. I mean, don't you describe your dream? Right? We describe the dream. Oh no, I have been there, I have done that, I just helped so many people. There was this guy that was crying and trying to kill me, and then I had to work his trauma, and then I brought him to a higher level of heaven, or a better level of hell, or whatever. It's all mental projections. This was the first question I asked Ramji when I met Ramji, because I asked this question to all my previous teachers I had contact with. And guess what? Everyone said, I don't know. At least they were honest. I asked them, so the individual here he's growing towards self-knowledge and freedom. It's developing. It's the purpose of life is to bring us to self-knowledge and moksha or awakening, or howsoever one calls it. They said, how about when we leave the body? Can we continue progressing and achieve moksha as well? And then all these teachers would say, I'm sorry, I don't know. Because none of them have been educated by the scriptures. And then when I told Ramji, he did not make much of a fight. They say, oh, no, you cannot progress or gain any knowledge. You have to come back to play your karma here because up there you don't have free will. It was a 10-second answer, and then he turned to talk something else. And then I had to process, and then by and by it became clear to me. It's just like a dream. The levels of reality discussed in the commentary on the previous verse are defined by their duration. That which is truly real, the highest level, transcends time. That which is empirical and imaginary lasts for longer and shorter periods, respectively. So all the transactions between the jiva and the physical material objects, they have a duration of time. We measure time by the intervals between one object or one thought and another, or the duration we engage in one single thought. The duration of an thought experience, or the interval between two thoughts or two experiences. So, that which is empirical and imaginary lasts for longer and shorter periods respectively. And the imaginary is the dream state, by the way, is the projection of the jiva in dream state. Dreams are regarded as a product of imagination because their objects do not carry over into the awaking state. But immediately dissolve when we regain consciousness of the physical body and its environment. When we awake, we neither suffer nor enjoy the consequence of the events that occur in dream. But sometimes we get a little bit like, oh my God, it looked like real. Huh? It takes a little while to calm down. There is a very nice analogy or little story or metaphor. I talk about the guys that were so distressed because they thought that they lost one of their fellow friends crossing the river, and then the guy was so sad. He started banging his head against the tree, and then he had some bruise, some hurt. And then the wise man comes and says, hey, no, it's all okay. You did not lose anybody. You forgot to count yourself. So the story of the 10th man. So immediately his problem was solved. There was no question of grief, of suffering. Everybody's alive and so on. But the bruise, the hurt, it remained for some time. Sometimes we do that. We deal with some imaginary situation, and then sometimes in a dream, and sometimes dreamy while awake. We project something, and then we suffer, and then people tell us, don't worry, take it easy. There's no reason to suffer. But we keep with that feeling, sensation, I know, I have all reasons to suffer here and to be concerned because it almost happened. Dreams are regarded as a product of imagination because their objects do not carry over in the waking state, but immediately dissolve when we regain consciousness of the physical body and its environment. When we awake, we neither suffer nor enjoy the consequence of the events that occurred in dream. And this seems quite natural to us, for the dreamer no longer exists, and as the dream world depends upon his existence, the dream world too disappears. So I think we all know this experience of having a beautiful dream, so juicy, so nice, everything is going right for me. And then the mind starts awakening, the state is about to change, and then it's a dream. No, I don't want the dream to go. I just do my best to hang on to the dream. No, I want to stay in the dream. So that's the situation of the jiva once we get in contact with the scriptures. You know? We know it's all a dream, but somehow, due to some magic power, Maya gets us attached to the dream and we don't want to let it go. We say, no, I want to keep my dream. When we awake, we neither suffer nor enjoy the consequence of the events that occurred in the dream. And this seems quite natural to us, because the dreamer no longer exists, and as the dream world depends upon his existence, the dream world disappears too. When we no longer identify with the body-mind, we awake from the dream of the not-self, so to speak, and recognize that whatever occurs in that dream of Maya has no effect upon us. We have to keep remind ourselves that these are all metaphors, analogies. This is not our dream. People think, oh, I'm projecting the world, and then when I'm enlightened, the world is going to disappear. No. The world is a projection of Ishvara. Ishvara is going to project it, and when you awake, or when you realize your true fundamental nature, you're going to see the robe as a robe. No longer you're going to superimpose reality to the snake, but the robe remains, which is a little different from its analogy that serves its purpose, but not in this very example I'm doing. That's the limitation of every metaphor or analogy. Because when we realize our reality, it's not a question of either or. It's not a question of either the snake or the robe. No, you're going to say, oh, the robe is there, the snake is a projection of the robe, but I know that I'm the robe, therefore let the snake be. You know, we'll see the world for what it is. A projection, manifestation of the elements, and it's all governed by Ishvara, the Lord. And we don't have the power to shrink the world or cause it to disappear from manifestation. Maya and its effect it does not have any effect upon us. This is not to say that action-reaction does not continue in the field in which the body-mind operates. This is interesting. That does not say that action, karma, cause and effect, does not continue in the field in which the body-mind operates. The body-mind belongs to Ishvara. Cause and effect is going to carry on. It does not disappear. But it just means that we no longer confuse the self with the world, the passing show, the time-bound world of objects. Karma is perceived as the system, insentient, impersonal, highly intelligent, beautiful, working to perfection, but yet it's not really sentient. It's borrowing sentience from the only conscious, knowing, sentient principle called awareness or consciousness. It is frequently compared to the images that come and go on the surface of a mirror. The mirror, which stands for the self, is a long reel, and it remains what it is, regardless of any object reflect on it. No appearance have any effect on the mirror, right? This is another nice analogy. No objects have no effect on the space. No objects have any effect on the mirror. The mirror is just the background on which all these superimpositions occur, those images in the mind of Maya, so to speak. Images, modifications in consciousness. Any questions? All is good? The liberated are free of experience and impartial towards them. Do they not worry about the future? So it's freedom from experience. And our trouble is dependence on experience. The basic confusion is that we confuse what we are with our experience. And the number one experience is my body. So we keep getting confused with our experience. The liberated are free from its experience. Experience do not end unless you consider freedom to be Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But freedom, from the standpoint of the Upanishads of Vedanta, is freedom from dependence on experience. Is that substratum which is unmodified through the three states of human consciousness. That is completely free from all those different realms of experience. And they do not worry about the future. How to worry when you know that you are free from your experience? Nothing belongs to you. The whole show belongs to Ishvara. The Lord gives, the Lord takes, the Lord manages, governs, delivers life circumstance, and so on. There is no need for any concern. It's Ramji likes to refer to himself, which is, by the way, ourself, the limitless, actionless, ordinary, unconcerned awareness. So he throws some attributes that relate to us, human beings, so that you can have a better picture of the situation, unconcerned. So long as we think that we are the body-mind, we pursue experience we think will make us happy. And we're going to work hard to avoid those experiences that we believe is going to make us miserable and unhappy. That's the game of life. Working hard to attract or gain those experiences that are pleasurable to our vasanas, and working hard to avoid those experiences that are unpleasant to our vasanas. We don't do any other thing in life but that. So the liberated man or woman is impartial towards experience. Oh, it sounds depressing, right? You don't care, right? For anybody still young and full of rajasic energy, it sounds really a bit funny, huh? Unless you babies are your very wise souls. No, because you found like, what? I'm impartial towards experience. I'm indifferent.
Impartial is quite a good and subtle word because it doesn't imply that you don't care, it's that you're not attached.
Yeah. But a lot of people hear those things and they get a little bit scared. You see, indifferent, impartial. I think, what? What is the passion here? You know, the passion is highly overrated. Estimated, overrated. Huh?
Passion is rajasic.
Yeah. It's highly overrated in the world. If you don't have passion, you're not going to be successful in gaining, attaining things.
But I also think that the expression "I don't care," which by the way James uses as well, is a bad expression, because that gives the impression that you don't give a damn.
Yeah.
That is not being dispassionate.
No.
Because the dispassionate means you are all engaged, but you can all let go.
Yeah.
That is dispassion. And if you say, well, I don't care, then it looks like you have to put reality or the mithya on a distance, you know. Okay, because you're afraid that you would care, you know. And this is, I like to warn, but I find it a bad expression, I don't care. I don't agree with that.
Which is the better expression to you?
Dispassion is better.
Oh, dispassion, of course. That's why the scriptures say dispassion.
Don't describe dispassion by I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Ramji may say here and there, I don't care, but he refers dispassion as indifference.
Yeah, sure.
To whatsoever Ishvara presents to me, which may sound a little bit flat to a lot of people, a little flat. So I like to add another word to that sentence, and I say it's a positive indifference to whatsoever Ishvara presents me with. Positive indifference. What is a positive indifference? It is, wow, it's all good. Thank you, Lord. I'm still alive and you still present me with objects of experience. And it's good in any case, because, I know that who I am the source of joy and happiness and satisfaction, and I know whatsoever you present to me, I'm going to make the best out of it, because I know that satisfaction, happiness, and joy is not in any experience, but it's in the quality of the experiencer.
So it is rather a welcoming of everything that comes.
Absolutely. Embracing everything with a positive attitude, which is based on knowledge that I am the good that give goodness to things. Anything that happens may be good and bad only because of me. And since I know that I am limitless and I'm the nature of completion, fullness and goodness, so I know everything that comes to me is of the same nature, although it belongs to Mithya, but I can just take it as myself. The whole thing about what we like, we don't like, is just subjective. It's just our vasanas, based on previous impressions. Some things we like, some things we did not like, and there we go. We become a vasana machine, a vasana program. I only like what I like. Oh, really? But are you sure you like it, or your vasana likes it? Or you are just being run, And then when you see the individual is suffering because he's not always getting what he wants. Rolling Stones, Jagger I don't know if he wrote that song, he says, I can't always get what I want. So it's true.
What is your guitar?
Yeah. So we cannot get always what we want. So it's better we get smart and we are not pushed around by our vasanas, producing a lot of suffering and with brief moments of pleasure. Because most people like good things. There is a certain universal value for what's good, and then different people, they have different flavors. But most people like to be rich, for example. Can you find somebody who say, no, I want to be very poor? Everybody has a value to money. Money represents security, comfort, pleasure. It's a big thing. So it's almost like a universal vasana for money. So just imagine you say, oh no, I like money. I like money and I like a lot of money. Big trouble. Because you are trying to like something that many people like. There is a lot of competition for money. There is another law operating in the field, that is the law of scarcity. You know, when there are too much demand and little supply, and we have to work very hard to gain something, and we get frustrated over and over again because we want something that is difficult to get. You know, or I want the most beautiful woman in the world. Everybody wants the most beautiful man or the most beautiful woman. Why not just to like whosoever Ishvara presents to you? It's common sense, logic, intelligence. So long as we think we are the body-mind, we pursue experience we think will make us happy and run. Is that the thing? Or we are in the 92 or 93?
That's correct.
We'll pursue experience we think will make us happy and run from those we think will make us unhappy. We are always categorizing events based on this criteria. And we are anxious about what will happen, wishing to control it and suffering from our powerlessness to do so. We cannot control the field. Get over, like Ramji says, pack it up, right? Pack it in or pack it up? Pack it in. Forget it. You cannot control your experience.
So then that means we don't have free will.
Huh? We have a certain degree of free will, but not the free will to control your experience. The experience is being presented by Ishvara, but you have a very small time contribution or influence on your karma. And so if you conform your thoughts and actions to the scriptures of karma and dharma, you're going to be acting in harmony with the field. And then indirectly, you're going to be producing some sanchita karma that manifests as prarabdha karma, that in due time is going to manifest as favorable circumstances of life. So you are influencing your future experience, but you cannot say like, oh, I want it in December 15th, 2018, I want to have my house paid off. So we cannot control. We don't know what is going to come about and when. But you can place your prayers to the Lord, and the best prayers are appropriate and timely actions in harmony with the field and in harmony with your goal. If you want to be very rich, get some skills. Get some good skills. And then work hard. Work hard. Until you build your business. And then when you have the business and time comes, you'll say, oh my God, where did I get this idea? Now I have a monster that's consumed most of my time. A lot of the times it goes that way, you know. You have the money, but then you don't have the most valuable thing in life, which is time for smelling the rose and contemplate and get smart and so on. Get cultured. We are always categorizing events based on this criteria, and we are anxious about what will happen, wishing to control it, and suffering from our powerlessness to do so. So our life becomes a ceaseless ebb.
goes
You
around.
know, like the tides.
Oh,
It's the going, coming in.
okay. Yeah. Our life becomes a ceaseless ebb and flow of pleasure and pain, fear and aversion. And the peace we so long for is only fleeting taste when desire momentarily abates. We're all going to come out of this seminar much more cultured, because we are learning a lot of sophisticated words from ads. I promise, if I ever do this again with this text, I'm going to take my time, read it one more time, and I'm going to just put it all in my words. The first 2 chapters I did that, and then I said, no, it's too much work. Let me learn some of these cultured works, and moreover I have some soccer games that I want to watch. The liberated no longer identify with the body-mind, which is the locus of experience. You see? The locus of experience is the body-mind. We need the body to experience. The jiva is defined as consciousness plus maya plus a creature with 3 bodies. It's not consciousness plus maya plus the subtle body. You need the 3 bodies. The liberated no longer identify with the body-mind, which is the locus of experience, so they are free of all the contingencies of this world, regarding all events with an evenness of mind that comes from knowledge, and out of knowledge comes dispassion, non-attachment. Non-attachment only sticks around if it's based on knowledge, understanding. To revert to the metaphor used in the previous verse, the liberated know they are the mirror in which events are reflected. Consciousness, or to be more precise, all these events are reflecting Maya, but just to not to invalidate that metaphor of the mirror. To revert to the metaphor used in previous verse, the liberated know that they are the mirror in which events are reflected. They do not confuse awareness with the objects that appear on its surface, so to speak, but simply observe them as they come and go, knowing that they have no substance on their own. We only worry about what will happen when we believe our happiness depends upon some external events which are ever changeable. You see the setup? We place our happiness on some results of actions. No, I want this and this and this, and I'm working hard. And if they come, I will be happy and satisfied. And again, people, no. Now it's the last deal. It's the last desire. I have gained many things in life. I never really got fully satisfied and happy and content and peaceful. But now I'm just beginning a new project. And if I gain the results of these efforts of mine, I promise myself, I promise my wife, I'm going to be a happy man. No, it has never ended. And it's a huge setup because the results are not under our control and circumstance keeps changing. Have you tried to make money with the stock market or the real estate market or currency market or anything? I mean, you find those guys in the internet or in their own office, they come, hey, come here. I know how to read the markets. I have 20, 30 years experience. I know how to play, and I promise you, I'm going to double your money in a few years. No, and they become the gurus, investment gurus. And then they get all these testimonials, and they, oh yes, this guy, there's no way, you can never make a mistake with this guy, he's reliable, and so on. The fact is, nobody can read Ishvara, nobody can read the field, nobody can read any market, much less what the Dharma field is going to present. We have no clue. No, there are some probabilities that we project, and then say, okay, I'm gonna invest on this kind of action, or I'm gonna invest some money here and there. But knowing that nobody can read the market, nobody can read the mind of Ishvara, so it's better we don't depend on any happiness coming from the field, because the field is in constant change. We only worry about what will happen because we believe that our happiness depends upon those events, external events that are always changing. It's a moving target. I have done a little bit of business in my life and tried to put a deal together. It's a moving target. You want to put a deal together, and then the field is changing. It's constantly you have to adjust. Yeah, but you don't have this. Oh, that's investor. These people change their mind. Oh, the market changed and this changed. Oh, the government brought some new laws. You know, how are you going to shoot? It's moving all the time. It's very difficult. And then you're like you bought a good stock. Oh, I bought this stock. It was very low. I know one guy who bought stock on Microsoft, and then the stock started going up, and he started feeling very rich. Oh, I'm a millionaire now. A millionaire, oh, very good. Because I bought it low. I bought it low as if that would be enough. The stock went up and up and up and up and up and up, and as this guy became richer and richer and richer on the paper, he started becoming greedier and greedier and greedier. He started saying, wow, now I want to be a multimillionaire. I'm pretty much sure the way this thing is going, you can see there is only one tendency here. It's going to go up. Why don't you monetize now 2 million if I can have 20 million in a few months or days? And then when one least expects, the market corrects itself. There's a little drop. And then everybody say, don't panic. It's just a correction. You know, it's a correction, it's going to come up, and it's going to start climbing. And then this correction takes a deep, when you say, oh my God, it went 30 or 40% down, and then the gurus say, don't panic, you are here for the long run. We have the picture, we know, the tendency is only going up. So this guy was a millionaire on the paper, and then he saw his millions going down, until that time anything with a .com in the end would make fortune. And he had some of those. In the end, the paper was worth nothing. You know, I mean, even if we buy right, we don't even know when to sell. You know, we have no control. And then when we get it right and we succeed, we say, oh man, look at me. I'm a genius. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to teach you how to create reality. I'm going to open a school called the Millionaire Mind School. I'm going to teach everybody how to be a millionaire and how to invest their money. Another scam. Nobody knows anything about Ishvara. Ishvara is just... To revert to the metaphor used in the previous verse, the liberate know they are the mirror in which events are reflected. They do not confuse awareness with the objects that appear on its surface, so to speak, but simply observe them as they come and go, knowing that objects have no substance. We only worry about objects. We only worry about what will happen when we believe our happiness is to be found on those objects which are always changed. When we know such events to be merely images that flash upon the mirror of consciousness, which is our very self, our anxiety dissolves. And thus every image that manifests briefly and tempts us to believe it is real, even as it fades into the changeless being from which it arose. There is nothing to be concerned, they are just projections on the screen of consciousness, but yet we know people that they buy the ticket, they go to the cinema, they are there watching the movie, and then we see they are crying. They think it's real, they just get deceived by the projection. Even in the mall, they paid it, they know it's just a story, it's a drama. They cry, and then when the favorite player gets killed, they say it's not fair. And then he goes home and feels depressed. And we can identify with anything, But the wise does not get impressed by any of those projections. Verse 94, when we come back from lunch. No? Or now? Oh, yes. Oh. I forgot for a moment. So, 94, when we come back on Monday. Then we have to get serious if we want to finish this. We have 4 sessions. We're gonna establish a bill that says questions only from 9 and 9:30. Right, Samadhi? Yes.
Bring some tape for me, please.
Yeah. Let's give thanks. Oh, she came back. Right on time. Before we do that, I was going to make an announcement. So I was suppressing my good friend Jennifer. She's trying to protect my interest of the hall, that we want to be able to use it in the future. Any donations goes to her, and they have shared the box. Donation for the hall is very much welcome. And anything for the teacher is welcome as well. We go for our offering of gratitude to the lineage, to all the rishis, to all the teachers, to Ramji, Shankara, Dayananda, Shimaya, and so on. Sadashiva Samarambam, Shankarya Sharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam, Isvara Guram Temeti, Murti Veda Vibhagine, Yoma Vadvatvatadhyaya, Dakshinamurtiya Namaha, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta, Gocharam Tamagocharam, Govindam Paranamandam, Satguru Pranatosh Maham. Om Shanti. Thank you, everybody, and we meet again on Monday.